So people will see you the way you see yourself. If you see yourself as someone who is stupid, weak, um, naive, sick, then the world will see you that way. Uh, Outside world is a reflection of what's going on inside of us. This is why all we need to do is focus on what's happening internally, what's happening in our mind, what's happening with our thoughts, what's happening with our beliefs. How do we see ourselves? How do we see our future? How do we see our path? Do we view ourselves as powerful? Do we view ourselves as kind, lovable? I've been out working, and I think it's time to get some new, definitely time to get some new tank tops. So I'm going to do that this week. But the way you see yourself in your head is how other people are going to see you. If I see myself as I'm shy, anxious, if I see myself as I'm not a good person, if I see myself as, let's say, if I'm constantly on lying to people, if I'm lying all the time and doing things like that, then deep inside, whether I'm conscious or aware of it, I'm going to have a negative self-image of myself. I'm going to think, I'm a liar, I'm not a good person, whether I'm conscious of that belief or not. The probability is high that I'm going to have this negative self-image. I'm going to see myself poorly. And a lot of people will actually even admit and say, hey, I'm not a good person, Now, if I see myself that way, let's say lying is an example. Let's say if I'm on porn sites all day long and I have issues with lust and I see and I know this about myself, and I see myself as this weak, lustful person that has no control or very little control over my sexual impulses. Then when I go out into the world, again, the way I see myself is how others are going to see me, because you're going to resonate, your behavior is going to express how you see yourself. It's so incredible. It's simple, yet it's complex. It's what all the scriptures and all the religious texts and so many wise people, in the Bible it says be good and all of this and don't do evil because, there's heaven and hell. And as you guys know, heaven and hell, as I believe it, is right here. It's in our experience. So the way you see yourself is how other people see you. So in order to see yourself in a better light, you can either do affirmations and be aware of your thoughts, and do that work, where you're writing down or visualizing, training yourself, conditioning your mind to think and believe in a certain way. That's one way to do it. Or an easier way, well, it's not maybe easier. They both require work in different ways. But the other way to do it is to do good, to not go on the porn sites, to not lie, to do good things, to help people, to listen to people, to call your mom, to call your dad, to be supportive to your friends and family, to give, to donate to charity, to be a good Samaritan, so all of those things that we believe in our society, according to since birth, what we're taught is right and wrong. We're programmed, right, with what we're taught is right and wrong. But it's powerful programming, and we've gotten to this point through centuries of evolution We were fighting and raping and pillaging and stealing, and we evolved past that. We realized that that's stifling and limiting our survival and making life, more difficult and unpleasant and not enjoyable. So we've evolved to the point where we have created these frameworks of be kind, be loving, because those things are, we've evolved to that point of love, and that's where we are today. So when we see someone like a Donald Trump rise to power, it's so disturbing to people all over the world, because he's going back to how we were 300, 400 years ago, that of course still exists in our society. We still have it, and that's why we're resistant to that, because we know that it's still within us, and people like him are taking advantage of that, and not allowing us, hindering our evolution towards kindness and love and working together, right? So the first way that we can adjust or be viewed or feel like we're viewed in much better light, of course, it's like how we view ourselves. So the first way to do that, or one way to do that, is by the affirmation, the written work, by writing, by visualizing. The fighters do that, Conor McGregor's of the world, the Muhammad Ali's of the world, the Mike Tyson's. I'm the greatest, I'm the best. In Mike Tyson's case, he was conditioned to be this beast, this animal. I'm a killer, I'm a beast, I'm a machine. He just conditioned himself this way until he believed it, and he saw that within himself. His trainer, Cus D'Amato, saw that first in him, even though it didn't exist. This was a small, short kid who was terrified, had extreme insecurities, and now very openly discusses that he was just insecure, small kid, and his trainer saw something in him and molded him, conditioned him, and then Mike Tyson wound up seeing that in himself, right? So if you have a father or mother who says you're worthless and you're not going to amount to nothing, that can have one of two effects. Most people, they're going to believe that, they're going to see that. I'm talking to someone at the moment who was raised with those difficulties, and this person, she, is now a lot older and is struggling with these things. Of course, we can always change them and readjust once we know how, once we understand mental conditioning. But anyway, so one way we can do it is through that visualizing, as Tyson, as his coach did with him. Every day, I'm the greatest, I'm the fastest, I'm a beast, right? The other way is just by doing good actions, right? Because that's almost an easier way. When you do good and you are kind, are loving, are helpful, then you subconsciously in your mind view yourself as a kind person. And then when you go out in the world and you see yourself as this kind, giving person, it radiates, it gives you a sense of confidence, self-esteem, and then other people will see that in you. This is not to say that all people that have anxiety or issues are not good people. Not at all. It's a much deeper topic than this. But we do carry a lot of our negative self-image. You could be a good person but still see yourself as bad, and that will, that can still radiate. You could feel, insecure out in public. You could feel like you're being judged. And the Bible says, "Judge not, for thee be judged thyself," right? It means if you're judging constantly, then you're going to believe that that's happening to you as well, because you're going to think that, well, hey, I'm doing this, so everyone else must be doing this as well, which is not the case, not the truth. But it's the hell that you'll experience, the hell that they talk about in all these biblical religious texts. Don't judge because you're going to go to hell. It's not fire and demons. No, it's when you judge, when you are judging constantly people. You look at someone, if they're a certain race, suddenly all these thoughts flood into your head. Oh, this person must be this and this and that. That's all extreme judgment, and it will come back up on you in a lot of people. You will feel judged, right? So it's like a mirror. The world outside of us, outside of our skin, is a reflection of what's going on within us. So, it looks like I got shot. So, being aware of this is so important. And yes, of course, it's not an answer to, this isn't like a fix, because this is just step one, being aware of this, because then it's still hard, right? It's still hard to stop the lying, to stop the porn, to stop, whatever it is, whatever vices you may have, to stop those things. Then we're dealing with other things. We're dealing with the addiction, attachment, the dependency, and then there's usually like a root cause to why we're doing those things. There's usually like an unhappiness and like a we're trying to give ourselves some kind of a reward, because we feel like we deserve it. We feel like we've done all this. We've maybe worked from 9 to 5 all day long, and hey, I want to watch some porn, or I want to go eat a pizza, or I want to go, and we don't realize that it's not really a reward. It's we're making things more difficult for ourselves, and it's crazy how everything in our world it works backwards. That when you do something difficult like push-ups, which you just don't want to do it, the feeling you get afterwards is amazing. When you jump into an ice bath, like I did just a couple of days ago, it's just so unpleasant. It's just, but then afterwards you feel amazing. You feel so good for like weeks, and then it works the opposite way. If you do something that is so good and easy, like, let's say, eat some ice cream or watch some porn or whatever it is, it feels so good in that short, brief moment, but then you feel like shit. You feel terrible for a long time. So it's almost like they're the opposites. You do something difficult, something that takes work, that takes you being strong, and then the reward is long. You do something easy and quick that's stimulating and, just gives you that rush and that high, and then the result is just you feel not so good. Whether it's smoking weed excessively, that's a big one for a lot of people that I work with. It's usually sex, weed, food, relationships, those are the main ones. And they're very manageable, Weed is a big one for a lot of people. I've noticed mostly with guys, with men that I work with. So, weed is linked to the food, is linked to the excessive lust. So reducing that weed or being clever with that, like how you do it. For me, I pair it with productive things. I don't like to do it before I go to sleep anymore. I used to, but I don't do it anymore because I have found that it affects my life. I wake up later feeling more groggy, and it just affects my entire life. But if I pair it with something productive, for example, I like to pair it with training, and I'll do it maybe first thing in the morning. I might have some some weed, and then I'll go and train, and then I get on with the rest of my day. Or ideally, I keep it just for certain occasions. I'll do it on the weekend, or I'll do it, like a ceremony, ceremoniously, rather than a daily habit, right? I'll keep it special. When I go on tour with my band, or when I'm, practicing, or I'm in that artistic zone, I'll do it, but I won't be just doing it every day like it's like a glass of water, or so respecting those things keeps them special, and I tell you, there's very few things that come close to me and a lot of people, the pleasure of sex, of food, of smoking, of weed, whether you're smoking it or edibles or whatever. Those are the most pleasurable things. Why would you want to ruin them? Why would you want to ruin your sex drive by indulging in porn and overstimulating yourself? Why would you want to ruin something as amazing as weed and getting high by doing it every day? Why would you ruin incredible foods, by pizzas so amazing, or donuts are so amazing? Why do it every day? You're going to ruin it for yourself. So I take breaks because I love those things so much, and I want to do them until I'm 70, until I'm 80, until I'm 90. I want to eat donuts and bacon when I'm 90. I want to smoke weed hopefully when I'm 80 and 90. I want to, still have my sexual urges and desires when I'm 80 and 90. I don't want to burn them out, right? So it's not about even wanting to do these things when I'm 80 or 90. God forbid I could get hit by a bus tomorrow or the day after. It's not about wanting to live a long time and doing these things, 30, 40 years from now. It's about enjoying them now. And when I take the breaks, I enjoy them more now. And I don't raise my tolerance so that I have to consume more weed and, pay more money for that. And, I can take a break, and then the less stronger strains will be enough for me. I love Thai stick. Thai stick is an older strain. It's like from the 60s and 70s, but I'm good with that. So, people are just constantly getting stronger strains of weed. It's kind of crazy, you could be ruining it for yourself. So the way that I at least view real weed lovers, bud smokers, real pot lovers, is that they balance. They understand how it is to take a break. I do the same with MMA and jiu-jitsu and kickboxing. I don't want to burn myself out so I can't do it anymore. I want to do this for as long as I can. I want to do jiu-jitsu until I'm in my 70s. So I'm not going to be hitting it hard every day at the gym. And it's hard not to, because the culture in MMA gyms is show up every day, keep training nonstop. Well, a lot of people wind up messing up their neck, their backs, and then that's it. They're out. Or their knees. They blow their shoulders out, and that's it. They're done. I don't want to do that. I want to do this for a long time. So I take breaks. I let my body reset. Taking breaks is huge so that you can enjoy things that you love for as long as you're alive. So if you respect and you truly love those things, if you truly love, the crazy lustful sex, if you truly love getting high as hell and truly love, all the other things that I've talked about, well, respect them and keep them special, and put those breaks in. Give yourself space from them. Let them be a part of your life, but don't let them be constant, because you're going to pay, nature and the universe or whatever. Nature's going to get you to stop. Either you're going to get messed up in your body, and you can no longer train and do jiu-jitsu, or you're going to become so overweight, from being too gluttonous and being into like, too much consuming too much sugar. It's going to make you sad and angry and miserable, or you're going to just get so far deep into the rabbit's hole of lust and sex and porn that you're going to be miserable. You're going to lose your sex drive. You're not going to be able to have real sex, right? So that's heaven and hell, right? And finding a good balance is important. I absolutely don't think that you need to stop all these things. A lot of religions and religious people, they're too extreme where they say no sex. Like look what's going on in the Christian church with that when they're abstain from sex, and these priests are now attracted to like little boys, So I don't believe like stopping is clever either. Just balance. Give yourself those things. There's some of the most amazing, beautiful things awesome things about being alive, right? So do them. It's great, but moderation is important. Do them in moderation, and that way you keep them amazing, keep them powerful and special. And it's about your experience. It's not about what other people think. I don't care about the people at the gym who say, "Oh, come and show up every day." They're not having my life experience. I'm not living for them. I'm living for, this is my life experience, right? What's important to me is my family, the ones I love and are most important and dear to me. And in order to help and be a good source for them, I must respect and take care of myself first, right? Fill your cup first. It's not a selfish thing. Fill it first so that you can be energized and full of power, so that your cup will overflow onto everyone around you. And you'll go into the supermarket, or you'll go into the store, you'll go out into the world, and you'll be radiating peace and love and strength because of the way you're going to see yourself, the way you view yourself. And that will radiate. A couple of final examples on this. First, I'll start with a jiu-jitsu one. So, a few months ago, I was at a really good, high-level grappling jiu-jitsu gym, and they do these open mats. And it's in Orange County, and some of the best fighters from all around go there. It's every Sunday. Professional UFC fighters, and it's really awesome. It's kind of like a Shark Tank. And I was rolling with someone, I was fighting with someone, and this person managed to get on top of me, sitting on me. And then in that moment, I just decided to take a moment and oops, how do I stop this? Sorry about that. So in that moment that this person had like climbed up on top of me and was in an extremely dominant position, I just changed the way I saw myself. I changed my self-image from being dominated and being the victim. In that moment, I just put myself in a different mindset, and I imagined this. I imagined, oof, what a mistake this little monkey has made jumping onto a lion. This person must be crazy to have done this and is about to get eaten up. My self-view, that belief, that thought, affected my body, because before that thought I was tense, I was nervous, I was frightened, I was afraid. But when I had that, when I relaxed and I had that changed my mental state, suddenly I became relaxed and my body language changed. And the person who was on top of me immediately could sense that, and it's unbelievable how quickly this person almost jumped off me. They didn't jump off me, but they became very weak, and I literally was able to just push and get out of that position. And this is what great fighters do. professional fighters will be in that zone, will be in that mental state constantly. And it's when that mental state shifts that they will start to lose a fight, or start to, like, and this isn't the same in life. If I go out into the world and I'm, nervous and anxious, and I feel like I'm shy, or I'm this, or I'm whatever it is, whatever thoughts that are going through my head that are bringing anxiety out, or making me feel judged, or whatever. Find beliefs and thoughts that can help. For me, this is going to sound very silly, but I'm going to be just very honest with you, with all of you. One thought that has helped me a lot is, I don't know how it came to me, but one day I just had this thought that I'm sitting at on a long table, Game of Thrones style, or if you guys know the Godfather movies or whatever, or if you know Genghis Khan, right? That warlord. I don't know why I had this thought for a moment. Someone had got up and disrespected me, and then to my right, one of my followers or warriors got up as if to, like, strike this person down, and I put my hand on them to get them to just, sit and chill. This thought, for some reason, this view, this image of myself that I had in that moment, has been a really helpful, empowering image, because a humble, a king, an emperor, a leader, whatever you want to call it, a powerful person, right? Forget emperor, forget king, but a truly powerful person is humble, right? I'm gonna share one more story with you guys. So I've been writing on my arm, and I need to, like, go over it again because it's fading out. But I put "stay humble," and I want to share the wording with you. I didn't say "be humble" or "be more humble." I put "stay humble." So for any of you who are into affirmations and self-image and self-talk, positive self-talk, the choice of words is critical. A lot of people mess up and don't understand affirmations. They'll say, "Be more humble." Well, if you write "be more humble," it's implying that you're not humble. And that's not what you want when we're conditioning ourselves, or working with affirmations. You want to be there right now. So let's say Conor McGregor, who had this unbelievable rise in the UFC, in MMA, and he got 2 championship belts, and then he just left, right? So he understands this very well. And even when he was just no one, just a young up-and-coming fighter, he believed he is the champion, right? So it's the same thing. Stay humble, stay kind, stay powerful, stay confident, stay peaceful, remain. It's the words are important because it's implying that you are that, right? And it is the truth. We are all that. We all have goodness, kindness, strength, power, weakness, evil. We all have these things inside of us. It's just, what are you going to focus on? What are you going to strengthen? What are you going to make stronger? What are you going to bring out of yourself, right? So if you think that you're an insecure, bad person, well, it's true, there is that in all of us, right? But if you focus on that constantly, you're going to ignore all the other good things that are within you, rather than strengthening them. All it is strengthen what you wish to strengthen. As I said in my last video, we're able to mold and condition ourselves into whatever we want, okay? But it starts with how you see yourself, right? And how you see yourself is how the world will see you. So I hope this video helps. Any questions or comments, please go ahead and leave them down below. And yes, as you guys know, I do private coaching as well when I'm not out in the backyard stabbing myself, you know, and working on my land. And I think I'm gonna need a new, this is the last time I'll do a video with this sweater, so, tank top. I've had this one for ages. So yeah, work on that. And if you guys are deep in that hole in that pit of like just suffering, it's okay. I've been there. We're all there, and it just takes patience. Just every day, do a little bit, and you know, we have phases in our lives. So sometimes you just need to go through that phase until you are sick of it and it's out of your system, right? So yeah, as I was saying, so I do private coaching as well, and I'll put the info down below for anyone who needs real help. And I also have a Patreon page that I launched a while back, where I upload more videos on there, and for anyone who's interested in supporting and helping out with this channel, you can go there as well. Otherwise, just a little bit every day, you know, do your best every day. Measure your progress in weeks, not days. Just every week, look back and say, hey, did I make some improvements in my diet? Did I make some improvements in my meditating? Did I make some improvements in, you know, intellectually, in the way I think? You know, body, do a little bit for your body, do a little bit for your mind, and do a little bit for your spirit, for your soul. Every week, just make sure you're moving forward. And anyway, that's it. So let me answer this, and I'll make more videos soon. Adios for now, everyone.